Is it disrespectful or offensive to put a menorah in my workplace lobby? Nah. My workplace lobby has a menorah and a Kwanzaa candle thing, and we're a $1 trillion company, so I think it's considered fine. Not at all. What about it would be offensive? No, and that was nice of you and the others. I am Jewish. I mean, I work at an office. I can tell you that I have 3 scenarios that come to mind. 1. The boss didn't see the menorah as appropriate as it's a religious symbol versus them looking at the Christmas tree as a holiday, secular symbol. Not saying it's right or correct, just playing devil's advocate, and wants to keep it secular. This doesn't really explain the previous year's decorations though. 2. The boss does have an issue with the menorah, and that will not turn out well for the CEO. 3. The secretary is lying and did it themselves, saying that the CEO ordered them to do it in order to save face and assume you wouldn't call their bluff. I'm personally leaning to this. Be civil and talk to the CEO. Hey, can I have a quick word when you have a moment? The receptionist told me that you requested the Hanukkah decorations be removed. Is that true, and if so, why? Then if they give you pushback, just tell them your reasoning for doing them in the first place, including the positive response you were getting. If they reply, "Wait, what? I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about," then probe. You'll get your answer soon enough. Remember, you didn't hear that from the CEO. You just saw missing decorations and the receptionist explaining why they took them down and why to not bother them about it. I can't claim to know what reasons your CEO has, especially if the Xmas decor is still up, but it's not disrespectful to put up decorations in a manner that's aligned with the customs of that religion. Just remember that even though your CEO could be 100% in the wrong, you'd still have to be mindful what cards you play. Your boss has no right to take down the menorah if she is putting up a Christmas tree. It is against federal to discriminate by religion. Sounds like they are just another anti-Semitic asshole. Taking it down seems more offensive than anything you may have accidentally done. And I suggest asking the CEO what's going on in an email versus talking for tracking purposes. My recommendation is that you consult with HR prior to the conversation. I'm not Jewish, but I see no reason to oppose having a single menorah with the Christmas decorations. Yeah, they're different holidays, and I'm not even one of those diversity and inclusion to a fault types. But I don't mind different holidays being represented. I would also think that if they're decorating for Christmas and the business itself isn't specifically religious, then you should be allowed to put up the menorah. I could see a Baptist church being fully justified in removing it. But barring religious establishments, you should be able to display it. The only way this would be acceptable is if workplace decorations were never allowed in general. The fact that they're allowing Christmas decorations yet remove yours is the textbook definition of discrimination. I'm Christian and my work always had a menorah, and every year I enjoyed seeing the lights. Granted, for me it is not a symbol of my own faith, but I grew to love the lights each year and appreciate that it has a more personal meaning for others. Or am I seeing a form of anti-Semitism in action? There is absolutely no valid reason for it to be taken down. I think we Jewish people have much bigger problems to worry about than well-intentioned inclusion. But here is something to think about if you want to explore the issue further. Prior to a few decades ago, there were no Hanukkah decorations in public spaces. And Jewish groups put a lot of time, energy, and effort into court cases opposing all religious symbols on public property because they were very concerned about protecting the separation of church and state. That is, until a small sect of Judaism called Chabad started settling these lawsuits by mass-producing large menorahs and saying it was okay to put up Christmas decorations as long as public spaces also included a menorah. This effectively ended the public Christmas decoration discussion and is why the news isn't full of lawsuits from Jewish groups every December like it was when I was younger. Many Jewish groups are not happy about this development for a number of reasons, including 1. Chabad is a small sect of Judaism and doesn't represent the views of the majority of American Jewry. For instance, they are extremely socially conservative, e.g., they don't allow women in positions of power and aren't LGBTQ friendly, etc. They also come very close to proselytizing, which is why they like having their brand of menorahs in public spaces, which Jews do not believe in, and they revere their founding rabbi with a fervor that many other Jews would consider idolatrous. Because most Jews draw a hard line between the divine and humanity as a whole, which is why we don't have a mystical Christ figure. Point 2. Many Jewish groups spend a lot of time and energy enforcing the separation between church and state through a number of civil lawsuits over the decades. And the idea behind these lawsuits that minorities can only feel truly safe in a country if there is a clear separation between secular and religious life was more important than just dropping a menorah next to a Christmas tree. Point 3. As you stated, Christmas decorations are almost always more lavish than a single menorah, because Hanukkah is a minor Jewish holiday, so only celebrating Judaism when it's convenient for the Christian calendar, while ignoring the Jewish holidays that are actually important to us, still makes Jewish kids feel left out and Jewish people in general feel marginalized. Like, how would you feel as a kid if all your friends decided to go to Disney World at a time they knew you couldn't attend, and instead of finding a time that worked for everyone, they just gave you a $5 Mickey Mouse figurine so you'd feel included? I am pretty strongly culturally Jewish, and I have accepted at this point that Christmas minus the nativity scenes is a secular American holiday, just like Dia de los Muertos is kind of treated as a California state holiday because it's part of our people's heritage. Also, I think Christmas decorations are pretty, and now that we have the internet, people know enough about DEI and sensitivity and atheism to have important discussions without policing the decorations in office lobbies. But if you want more details about the history of the menorah Christmas tree legal issues and why it's a sore spot for most Gen X Jews in the US, now you know. I'm Jewish and IDGAF. It'll point out the bigots in your office real fast though. I don't know, but I'd be really excited to hear how she explains how it's absolutely not due to anti-Semitism. My guess is that it will take less than a minute before you hear. I have lots of Jewish friends. Keep us updated. I think there should be Christmas trees, menorahs, Kwanzaa candles, Festivus poles, and anything else I missed. Wintertime is cold and dreary, and everyone should be able to celebrate the holidays. If it makes you feel better, most Jewish people I know don't go crazy over Hanukkah. It's apparently a relatively minor holiday that we assume is super important due to its proximity to Christmas. If you really want to be inclusive, put up decorations for Rosh Hashanah. Edit. Fixed based on users' comments. Jew here. And maybe kinda. The menorah, while a part of the Hanukkah celebration, also has religious significance outside of the holiday. As such, for a non-denominational display such as this, a dreidel would be more appropriate. Now, lots of people do this and I wouldn't be the one to complain about it. But that could be your boss's concern. That said, if they didn't provide any kind of explanation, I think it's more likely they have a problem with Jews or think someone who would see it does. It would be the same if you had a bug menorah and wanted to put up a Christmas tree but the CEO took that down. It's religious discrimination. Definitely go to HR as soon as possible. That's their responsibility.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.